There are 4 different types of serial killers. Each serial killer convicted of a murder is put into one of these 4 categories. The first category are the thrill seekers. They like the thrill of murdering. They like the adrenaline that they feel. The second category are the mission-oriented killers. They like to believe that they're on a mission, and they like to play a game with it, and they like to be the winners. So it is their mission to go kill so they can win. The third category are the visionary killers. They believe that God sent them on earth to kill, or that the devil sent them on earth to kill. The last and most common category for serial killers are the power or control seekers. They like being in control of their lives and the victims' lives. They like watching their victims suffer because it gives them more power. Today, I will be informing you about Preston Strong. I'll be talking about his murders he committed and his life now. Before he had ever murdered, his only criminal records were for theft or fraud. His first murders are known as the La Mesa Street murders. On June 24, 2005, the Yuma Police Department of Arkansas were called to a neighborhood because a neighbor heard someone screaming for help in their house next door. When the police arrived, they found Luis Rios, 35 years old, alive in the backyard, covered in gunshot wounds. They transported him to a hospital, and he later died because of the gunshot wounds. Then, after they found Luis's body, they also found Andreas Crawford and Enrique Bedoya. They were 13 and 12 years old. They had died from suffocation. They also found Luis's girlfriend, Andrian, and Inez Newman. They had also died from suffocation. The last body they found was 6-year-old Danny. He had died from gunshot wounds. On November 28, 2007, the police announced that Strong was a suspect for this case. They believed that he got mad at Luis Rios for not giving him free handouts anymore, for not helping him. A few days before they announced him as a suspect, the police found another dead body. On November 2nd, 2007, Dr. Santander Gill was found dead in his bathtub. He died from suffocation and blunt force trauma. At the crime scene, the police also found $24,000. The day before Gill died, he called a friend and asked her to go cash this $24,000 check for him, and he paid her $100 to do that. When the friend delivered the money, she said that he was acting very, very strange because he only opened the door halfway just to get the money. That night, they were supposed to go to dinner, and when he didn't show up for dinner, she called the police to do a welfare check, and that's when they found his body. Strong, the same day that the body was found, Strong was found at the store trying to buy a large money order. When he was asked for his ID, he did not give them his ID, so he just made 4 smaller money orders that did not require an ID. He gave his girlfriend $9,500. This made her very, very suspicious because he never had money. He never paid for anything their entire relationship. On November 2nd, he was arrested for fraud. On November 28th, he was announced a suspect for the Gill case. While he was in jail for the fraud, he got an additional 3.5 years for theft. In 2012, he was then sentenced to life and got an additional 25.5 years for theft, kidnapping, arson, and assault, all related to Dr. Santander Gill. In 2014, 2 years after he was already in life in prison, he was rearrested for the La Mesa murders. To this day, he does not believe that he is guilty of the murders. He will not admit to it. And he also believes that the police are guilty of criminal misconduct. In conclusion, we always think of serial killers being in the 60s and 80s, back when Ted Bundy was alive, for example. We never believe that serial killers are still living among us now, but this was just in 2005. That was only 16 years ago. Preston Strong is now living on death row in Arkansas to this day, and he will not be getting out, and he does not believe that he is guilty for these murders. Thank you for your time and your attention.